It happened 3 years ago. You've moved on. At least, that's what you tell people. And then it's 2 in the morning, and your brain quietly presses play. On that exact moment. Again. Only this time, you say the perfect thing, the thing you wish you'd said, and then the scene resets and plays again, with a slightly different ending. If this is you lying there rewriting old conversations, you are not crazy, and you are definitely not alone. This is one of the most common things the human mind does, and there are real reasons your brain refuses to let it go. Good reasons, actually. Your mind isn't broken. It's trying to protect you. By the end of this, you'll understand why it loops, and how to finally close it. First, let's name what's actually happening. It's called rumination, and rumination is not the same as thinking something through. Reflection has a destination. You look back, you learn, you move forward. Rumination just circles. The same track, no exit, no new conclusion. Reflection asks, what can I learn from this? Rumination asks, why did this happen? Over and over, with no answer. One brings relief. The other just digs the groove deeper. And here's the cruel trick. Rumination feels productive. It feels like you're solving something. So you keep doing it. But you're not solving. You're rehearsing pain, on a loop. So the first step is simply seeing it for what it is. Not thinking, not problem solving. A loop that needs closing. To understand why it loops, meet a psychologist from the 1920s. Her name was Zeigarnik, and she noticed something strange about waiters. Waiters could remember complex orders perfectly until the bill was paid. The moment the meal was done, the memory simply vanished. Finished business gets filed away. Unfinished business stays wide awake. She called it the Zeigarnik Effect, and your brain runs it constantly. Think of your mind like a browser. Finished tasks close their tab. But anything unresolved? That tab stays open. Quietly using power. That conversation from 3 years ago is an open tab. Your brain can't fully close it, so it keeps reloading it. Why won't it close? Because something in it was never resolved. Maybe you didn't say what you meant. Maybe it ended wrong. Maybe you never got the apology, or the explanation, or the chance. The brain hates a story with no ending, so it keeps writing new ones. This is the engine underneath the loop. Unfinished business. And it gets louder in one specific situation, late at night, which is its own fascinating piece of brain science. Let's talk about why 2 in the morning is the worst. During the day, the front of your brain keeps you steady. It's the part that reasons, plans, and says, let it go, it's fine. But that part runs on fuel, and by late night, the fuel is gone. So the calm, rational part quietly goes offline, and the emotional part, older, louder, takes the wheel. This part doesn't do logic. It does feeling, and memory, and fear. During the day, there are distractions, people, tasks, noise. At night, the distractions are gone. It's just you and the open tab, and trying not to think about it makes it worse. There's a famous truth here. Tell yourself not to picture something, and it's the only thing you can picture. So, the harder you fight the replay at night, the stronger it grips. That's not weakness. That's just how a tired brain works. Knowing this helps. The 2 a.m. version of you is not the truth. It's a version of you running on empty, with the alarm part in charge. So which conversations does it choose to replay? Not random ones. There's a pattern. And once you see it, it explains a lot. The ones we replay almost always have one thing in common. They're the moments where you felt small, or misunderstood, where you wanted to defend yourself, and the words didn't come. Where someone saw a version of you that wasn't really you. Where you were rejected, dismissed, or quietly humiliated. Notice the thread. Every one of these threatened how you see yourself. That's the key. We don't replay neutral moments. We replay identity wounds. A bad conversation that didn't touch your self-worth? You forgot it instantly. But one that made you question your worth? That one stays for years. Because to your brain, Your self-image is something to defend, and an unresolved threat to it feels like an open wound. So the replay isn't really about the other person at all. It's about you, about who you were in that moment, and whether that version is who you really are. That's why it cuts so deep. It's not a memory. It's a verdict you're appealing, which leads to the part of this that's quietly about shame. Replaying isn't just about what was said. It's about who you were when you said it. The cringe you feel is your brain comparing you to who you wish you'd been. So it rewrites the scene, gives you the perfect comeback, the graceful exit. It's trying to repair your self-image, one imaginary edit at a time. But here's the problem. The edits never actually save. Reality already happened. The brain just keeps drafting versions that can't ship. So shame keeps the tab open. And the open tab keeps feeding shame. It's a loop powered by a feeling, not a fact. And feelings can be met, which means this loop has a door. We'll get to that door. It's real, and it works. But first, one small thing. If this is putting words to something you've felt for years, subscribe. That's what we do here. Let's get clear on what your brain actually thinks it's doing. It believes it's solving a problem, a real one. It thinks, if I just find the right words, this will finally resolve. If I replay it enough, I'll understand it. I'll feel okay. It's a genuinely good instinct, pointed at the wrong kind of problem, because some problems can be solved, and some can only be accepted. The past is the second kind. There are no right words now. The conversation is over. The only place it still lives is in you. So the search for the perfect comeback can never succeed. There's nothing to find, but the brain keeps searching anyway. This same ability has a beautiful side, by the way. It's called mental time travel. The mind can visit the past and future. Used well, it helps you plan, prepare, and learn. Stuck in a loop, the same gift becomes a trap. The tool isn't the problem, the loop is. And loops can be opened. I'm curious about something. Is there one conversation you've replayed more times than you can count? You don't have to say what it was. Just tell me. Is it always the same ending? Or does your brain rewrite it? Now, a gentle but important truth about where this can lead. Rumination and low mood are deeply connected. They feed each other. The more you ruminate, the lower your mood tends to drop. And the lower your mood, the more your brain ruminates, a spiral. Researchers have found rumination can actually predict low periods before they arrive. So this isn't a harmless habit. It's worth taking seriously. But seriously does not mean harshly. Beating yourself up only feeds it. Shame about ruminating becomes one more thing to ruminate about. So the way out is not force. It's a different kind of attention. The good news is that the loop can be interrupted. Reliably. Not by willpower, not by just trying to stop thinking. Telling a looping mind to stop is like telling a wave to hold still. Instead, there are specific things that actually work. Let's go through them. These aren't tricks. They're ways of finally closing the tab. The first is to get specific. Vague rumination is the most sticky. Ask, what exactly am I afraid this moment said about me? Naming the real fear shrinks it. Vagueness is what keeps it huge. The second is the if-then plan. Give the loop a place to go. If I notice the replay starting, then I will do this one specific thing. Stand up. Walk. Name 5 things you can see. Anything that re-engages the front of your brain. You're not suppressing the thought. You're giving the mind a real exit. The third, and maybe the most powerful, is self-compassion. Talk to the past version of you the way you'd talk to a friend. You didn't have the words then. You were doing your best with what you had. That sentence alone can loosen years of grip. Self-compassion isn't letting yourself off the hook. It's getting off the wheel. Harshness keeps you spinning. Kindness lets you stop. And there's one more tool. Quiet, old, and surprisingly powerful. It's the letter you will never send, and the science behind it is genuinely remarkable. Decades ago, a researcher named James Pennebaker tested something simple. He asked people to write about their hardest experiences, just for themselves. 15 minutes, a few days in a row, that was it. The results stunned everyone. Their stress dropped. Their health improved. Why would writing do that when years of thinking didn't? Because thinking circles. But writing forces a line, a beginning, middle, end. To write it down, you have to turn the chaos into a story. And a story has an ending. Which is exactly what the open tab was missing. So write the letter to whoever it is. Say everything you never said. Don't edit. Don't be fair. Just be honest. It's only for you. Write what you wish you'd said. And what you wish they'd said back. Then do the most important part. You don't send it. The point was never to reach them. It was to finish the sentence inside you. Some people burn it, some keep it, some just close the notebook. What matters is that the tab is finally allowed to close. Not erased, just finished. There's a difference. So let's come back to 2 in the morning. To you lying there. That conversation stays open for one simple reason. Some part of you never accepted how it ended. It keeps waiting for a different ending, a fairer one, a kinder one. And as long as it waits, the tab stays open. The replay keeps playing. Acceptance is what finally closes it. But acceptance is misunderstood. Accepting it does not mean it was okay. It wasn't maybe. Acceptance just means you stop waiting for a different past. The past is finished. You're allowed to stop guarding the door. And the strange thing is, the moment you stop demanding a different ending, the replay loses its grip. There's nothing left for it to fix. It doesn't vanish overnight. Old grooves take time to fade. But each time you meet it with kindness instead of war, it fades a little more. You are not the worst version of yourself from a moment years ago. You're the person who's been carrying it and is finally ready to set it down. That conversation taught you something, even if it hurt to learn it. It showed you what you value, what you needed, what you're still protecting. And that's worth keeping. The wound can close while the wisdom stays. So tonight, if the replay starts, try something new. Don't fight it. Don't rewrite it for the 1000th time. Just say gently, I see you. That happened. I'm allowed to let it rest now. You might have to say it many nights. That's okay. Healing repeats. Slowly, the 2 in the morning version of you gets a little more peace. And one night, you'll realize you haven't replayed it in a while. Not because you forced it away. Because you finally let it finish. That's not forgetting. That's freedom. The mind that replayed it was only ever trying to protect you. Now you can thank it and let it rest too. The conversation is over. It has been for a long time. And now, at last, so are you.